Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that one of our admin received, and the message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I am a South African woman and I am aged 40 years old. I am working as a traffic officer. Let us just say here in Johannesburg, but that is not where the province where I am working at. I am working in another different province, so I'm just trying to protect my identity. So me working as a traffic officer, that is what I always wanted. But behind everything, there is a story that I have only shared with one of my friend who used to be a prostitute, but she has since passed away. You see, I do carry a secret that is like really bad, and I am haunted by a ghost. Yes, you heard me right. There are people that say that ghosts do not even exist, but indeed, ghosts, they do exist. It only depends if you have met them or if you have never met them. It is just difficult for you to believe in my story, but I'm not going to force anyone to believe in my story. But my confession, it goes on like this. It was in 2012. My life was very different. I was not a traffic cop by then. I was not even educated. I was someone who was just lying, and my kids did not even know that mommy was not working at ShopRite, but mom was just working as a prostitute. I was a prostitute living day to day, trying to survive in a city that was really difficult, and no one even cared for me. I hated myself. I hated the job that I was doing, hated the men that would sleep with me, looking at a man that would be on top of me. I did not see a man who was in love with me, but a man who only wanted to please his flesh, to please himself. And I just told myself that this was a way that I could survive, take care of my kids, send them to school. One night, everything changed. That was when I met a man. He was wealthy, he was older and different from the other men that I had dealt with. He drove a very beautiful Mercedes. He did not treat me like trash. He was generous and charming and a little bit lonely. I could see it in his eyes when he offered me a huge sum of cash just to talk. I thought that this was my chance. This was my way out. I started seeing him a lot, not as a client, but as something closer to a mistress. He had a wife, of course. He always wore his wedding ring, but I did not care because this was part of my job that I was doing. In my mind, his wife was just something that was standing between me and the life that I wanted. I was tired of struggling. I was tired of selling my body to countless men, most of them that I did not even bother to ask who they were. I just wanted a good future for me and my kids, and I was willing to do anything so as to get it. It was my stepmom who was a traditional healer. My stepmom is from Zim, and we got to find out about this after we heard that my father was staying with another woman. We went there and we saw that indeed this woman, she was a traditional healer. At that time, I stopped communicating with my father. But in the moment of need, that was when I remembered about this woman that was now staying with my father. I went to her, even though there was bad blood between me and her and my father. When she saw me walking into the yard, she thought that I was there to fight like we always did, but I told her to relax, for I wanted her to help me. I then told her what I needed, and I said, she said, if you want to keep a man like that, you need more than your body, more than your beauty. I am going to give you charms, real ones, some charms that I brought with when I had gone to Zim to visit my relatives. So she is not like your typical sangomas, the ones that we know here in our country, but she is that type of a traditional healer that mixes witchcraft as well as good herbs and medicine. And she told me that she was a witch and she was going to assist me. She gave me a small jar that was filled with some things that I could not understand, and there was a cloth that had some needle that were pinned on it. And she said, put this underneath your pillow and you'll never be able to leave you. This, I had to do it when this man would come to sleep with me. It was very difficult, making sure that he was not supposed to see those charms that were underneath my pillow, and it worked. This man became so obsessed with me. He used to come to me once a week, and then we will have maybe 2 or 3 rounds. But at that time, he was coming to me each and every night. After work, he would come, give me some money. Sometimes he would sleep with me. He paid for my rent, bought me clothes, and even gave me money to enroll in college. I thought I was winning, but the more that I took from him, the more that I wanted. When he introduced me to his home, I did not see him as a married man anymore. I saw him as a man that was supposed to get a brand new wife, and I was there. I wanted to be there, and his wife was still in the picture, and I did not want to share him with his wife. Mind you, I was a prostitute, but here I was getting all jealous about sharing this man with his own wife, the one that he had been married to for a very long time. One evening, whilst he was asleep, I told my stepmom that I wanted this woman dead for good, and then she replied and said there was a way. Then she said that I was supposed to come back home. The very next morning, I begged him to give me some money. I went back home, spoke with my stepmom. She then invited me into her bedroom. From underneath the mattress, she pulled out a black mirror. It was small but very old, covered in strange beads, and said, with this we can send a spirit away. I did not ask any questions when she said, kneel down in front of me. I did not want to know the details. All that I cared about was if it was going to work or not. The ritual was going to be terrifying, she said. She spoke with her Shona language. I understood nothing. She made me stare into the mirror, whispering Nomvula's name over and over again. I remember feeling really bad, as if I was worshipping the devil. 2 weeks later, she passed away in a car accident, they said, but I knew the truth. I was the one who had gotten her killed. The man was devastated. I comforted him, playing the supportive girlfriend. Over time, he leaned on me more and more. It was in 2016 when we got married, and indeed I got everything that I wanted. I did not love this man. Therefore, the marriage did not last. But let me tell you something. Karma is real and it will catch up with you. By 2019, I was tired of this old man and we divorced. I took a lot from the settlement, a house, money that was enough to keep me comfortable since I had given him a child. I made sure that he impregnated me so as to tie him to me. I thought that I had escaped poverty and I could move on and build a new life. I became a traffic cop, went back to school, further my studies, and tried to leave it all behind. But the problem is that it all started very small. I would hear people talking like in my ears. It started really funny. There was this other day when my child was playing a game with me. She was like, Mommy, can you hear the people that are talking? And I said, what people are you talking about? So he was holding a water glass. He came to me and then placed that water glass on my ear, and I heard the wife of that man that I killed. She was talking to me, accusing me of killing her. And that is how it all started. I would have these terrible dreams. She would never talk to me, but her eyes were really scary. The worst came a year ago. I was working late. We were stopping cars at a roadblock. It was just another routine night, or so I thought. A white sedan pulled up and I mentioned for the driver to roll down the window. When I looked inside, my heart stopped, for I knew and I recognized this woman immediately, but she was not alive. She was dead. Her face was white and her eyes were really strange and scary. I froze. I was unable to move. The driver of this vehicle spoke with me, but I could not understand. Then after that, that was when she was gone, when I blinked. And the guys that I was working with, they were even surprised. I told them that I had gone to the center of the road so as to stop a car. And they were like, what car? You were just standing there as if you were waiting for someone. I have seen her a few times since then, always at work, always when I least expect it. I hate being on night shift. I wonder if I am losing my mind. I don't know why I am sharing this, but I have heard that they are very powerful traditional healers in Zim. If you know anyone who can assist me, please just help me so that I can go there. I am willing to go there to make this right. Dear listeners, right, there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this translation. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.